Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Apron Strings. I'm going to make us something sweet today. And I know Troy don't need sweet stuff, but I need something sweet sometimes, and there'll be people stopping by here to get a bite of it. This is Grandma's good cake. Now, sometimes the old timers had recipes and they didn't have names for them, and the kids just named them what they wanted to. So we're going to make Grandma's good cake this morning, and it's not hard to make. It's similar to my Oh My God cake that I make, and y'all know the story behind why I don't like to say oh my God, but watch that video and you'll find out why it's called that. I'm going to get y'all over here where you can see what I'm doing. We're going to get it in the oven, and then we have to boil a glaze to go over it when it comes out of the oven. Then we'll let it cool, and I'll show y'all what it looks like, and I'll get a bite of it and brag on it. So y'all get on over to the butcher block and we will get this recipe going. Sometimes I like a recipe where you don't have to use a mixer, hand mixer, or a regular mixer, and this is one of those that I can mix by hand with whisk. So we're going to start out with 2 cups of flour, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bowl. 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and we have a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I use pink Himalayan salt. And I'm going to take my whisk and just kind of give this a mix, because I like to do that before I add any liquids to it. Man, our weather is still hot and we still haven't had rain. Now today about 2 o'clock they're saying we have a 40% chance, but I have my doubts because it's only at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, they're not showing any rain, so good grief, y'all help us pray for rain. We need rain down here, and I know there's areas it's flooding. It's very weird and strange, but we need rain at our house. I'm going to put my 2 eggs in, and I'm going to break them in this little container just because it's eggs from the hens. And I don't think there's ever a problem, but I like to be sure. Oh my goodness gracious, I just dropped that one on the counter. There's the yolk. See if I can get it scooched back up in there. I doubt it. Come here, White. You know, I'm just going to get another one and we'll have an extra yolk in there. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, let me get another egg and we'll try that one more time. I keep my eggs in a little container over there on the cabinet. If you don't wash them, your eggs will keep 2 or 3 weeks out on the counter. And I don't wash my eggs. Now, if there's poop on them, I'll wipe them off. But I don't wash them. If I'm going to boil them, yes, I'll wash them off, but before, in case one of them cracks. The other thing that we're going to need is 1 can, juice and all, of crushed pineapple. Have y'all ever had the oatmeal cake where they put it in the oven and bake it, and it has the stuff on the top that makes it good? That's kind of how this one is, but it's not the oatmeal cake. Alrighty, let me get this mixed up. I had a nice long talk with my son this morning. I'm blessed. He generally calls every morning to check on us and visits, and I get to catch up on his world and he gets to catch up on ours. Get my spatula and make sure I've got all the raw flour mixed in. Now I've got a 9x13 pan, and I put Pam in it in the bottom. I didn't grease and flour it. It's a non-stick pan, and I just sprayed Pam to keep it from sticking. I don't know what we did before that. I do know what we did. We greased and floured everything. And when they first came out with that, I was real skeptical about using it because I tasted that. That's pretty good stuff. Because it didn't make sense. We'd had to grease and flour forever, and all of a sudden they were telling us that that wasn't necessary. Get this wiped up a little bit and got it on my recipe. I'm glad I put a cover on my recipes because I'm messy. Okay, I've got my pan. My oven is on 350 and it's preheated. I heard it dinging a while ago. That's one thing I like about that June oven. It gives you a 1 minute notice when you set a timer on something and it's about ready to be done. You get a 1 minute notice, and they have an app. So if I put something on to cook and I'm outside or in the back of the house, have my phone with me, I know exactly when everything's ready. Okay, there's that part. Now we got something else to do, just a jiffy. Now we're going to sprinkle over the top 1 cup of brown sugar. And this gives it that, on the oatmeal cake, I think you broil it maybe, but this is going to cook with the cake. Kind of evenly disperse it. And then you want to put 1 cup of chopped pecans. See, this is a quick and easy dessert that's good. And you'll be having requests for your recipe. Okay, I've got it ready with the, let me wipe it down just a little bit. With the pecans on the top. I don't know how good y'all can see it, but there it is, ready to go. Put it in the oven at 350, and I think it's going to cook 45 to 50 minutes. I'll make sure that it's done, and then we'll have our glaze cooked by then and ready to pour over the top. And then I get to eat a little bit. I didn't eat anything today, and it's about 10:30, so I think this can be my brunch. I'll be back in just a little bit. While the cakes are cooking, I'm going to get everything in the pot for the glaze, and then about 15 minutes before it's going to be done, I'll get this cooked and ready where it'll be real hot and ready to put on the top of the cake. I need 1 cup of evaporated milk. This is kind of like a German chocolate icing, but it doesn't have any egg yolk in it. We need a 1/2 cup of sugar and 1 stick of butter. Tell y'all something, you can make a cake mix box cake like chocolate and make this and poke holes and pour it on the top, and it's squishy, moist, and delicious. I've done that before, even making a German chocolate. I would make this extra and put it in a 9x13 and pour this on, and then put the German chocolate icing on, and let me just tell you, it's so moist and so good and so rich. But this glaze makes just about any cake moist and good, and it's not hard to make. So just put that under your hat and remember it. You might need to use it one day. If you don't have any time to make something and you got a box mix and you want it to have a little extra pizzazz, we'll do that. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to let this wait, you know, and then I'll bring y'all back when I put it on the stove and start to cook it. But we've got it ready. I like to get stuff ready ahead of time, and in the break that y'all don't know anything about, I went to the sink and I washed up all the dishes that I've already used. And just a tip to the young cooks that might be watching, if you will have some soapy water, good hot soapy water fixed up in your sink or in a big bowl even, wash your dishes that you're using to cook your meal as you go along, and it makes cleanup so much easier when the meal's over. So always clean up after yourself. And don't leave those dirty dishes after dinner and plan on coming back and cleaning them up later, because when you're tired and you decide to do it in the morning, that's what makes you have roaches in your kitchen. Keep your kitchen clean, and if you'll do it as you go along, it won't be such a chore. Don't forget to wipe your stove. If you leave stuff under your stove burners, it's going to get hard and char, and it's going to be hard to clean. So wipe everything up every time you cook. That'll make it a whole lot easier. So I've got all the dishes clean. I've just got to wash this cup that had the milk in it and rinse out the sugar bowl here. And we'll be ready to get our glaze done in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, here we are back at the stove. I'm gonna turn this on medium. I've got my butter, my milk, the stuff we put in there a while ago. I'm just gonna cook it. I'm gonna stir it and try to get that sugar dissolved that's on the bottom. Get my butter melted and let it cook. See if it'll thicken a little bit, and have it ready to pour over the cake. I guess some of y'all have kids and grandkids going back to school pretty soon. For the kids, the summer never lasts long enough, and for some of the mamas and daddies, it lasts forever. Poor little kids. I don't have any in regular school. I got a couple of grandkids in college. Little Richard and Lauren will be in college. Lauren will be going back to A&M, and Richard will be he's doing all he can at the junior college. So he'll be taking some more courses there. And Jordan is a junior, but he does his work virtually from home, so nobody will be attending a regular school. I'm going to let this butter melt, and then I'm going to cook it till it kind of gets thick, and I'll show you. It kind of changes to that good darker color and tastes pretty cotton picking good. I'll bring y'all back in a little bit and show you what it looks like. The cake likes about 15 minutes. And so by the time this is ready, it'll be time to pour it over the cake. It'll have to cool just a smidgen, and then I'm going to have me some of it. Okay, it says to cook it till it comes to a rolling boil. And that's a good boil that you can't stir down. It just keeps boiling when you stir it. Doesn't say anything about it getting thick. So it's to a rolling boil. And it didn't take as long as I thought. So to keep it hot and ready to pour over the cake and for it to be thin and can pour, I'm just going to put it down on low till the cake gets done, and then we'll pour it over our cake. Okay, I've got the cake out of the oven, and I'm fixing to get the camera back up on the tripod, and we'll pour the glaze over it and we'll let it cool, and we'll come back and try to taste of it here in a minute. See, the pecans toasted really well. The brown sugar disappeared. So we'll put our glaze on it and let it soak down in there and taste again. Okay, y'all, the cake's cool, and I've got me a piece cut. And I'm going to taste of it and see how good it is. You can see where the glaze seeped down in there, kind of like a smoke ring on brisket. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Now I know why it's called a good cake. That's delicious. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have some more of that. Didn't take, well, it took longer to cook than the OMG cake, but y'all, that's delicious and it's moist. Now, the recipe that on my card, she would keep hers in the ice box, but you have to remember, years ago they didn't have air conditioning. So I think if you eat this within a day or two, it's going to be fine, left out of the ice box. I'm getting my tea. I want to talk to y'all for just a minute about, well, 2 or 3 things. With the heat, be sure you stay hydrated. My friend's grandson, and he's young, they're not sure if he had a heat stroke or not yesterday working out in the heat. Keep you something to drink with you and stay hydrated. Don't matter if you're 10, 15, or 80. The heat will get to you, so take care of yourself. And another thing is, things aren't looking any better on the horizon for the food situation. So be getting you a little extra food ahead. The farmers are losing their animals because they can't feed them because the hay's all burned up from the heat. That's going to make the prices go up. And one of my friends said that in Michigan, and she showed me a picture of the store, eggs were $5.19 a dozen for just plain old eggs. So if you can get you some chickens, that would be wise. But be getting some stuff ahead that you can use when prices are so high. If you buy it at today's price, of course you can't store eggs forever. There are methods, but the normal person don't do that. Get you some stuff if you can afford to spend a little extra on it, because you're going to pay 4 or 5 times more in a few days. It's just not going to get any better. And let me tell you again, Christmas and Thanksgiving's coming. Pick up what you need to make your goodies. I told you this last year. Have your stuff ahead of time to make your holiday goodies. And that way you won't have to worry about it if you just absolutely can't afford it then, because it's gotten so high or you refuse to pay that price for it. Y'all need to think ahead. It's not long till Christmas. It's not, and it's less than that till Thanksgiving. So get your, your sugars, your chocolate chips, your coconuts, your Eagle brand, whatever that you need for your recipe. Start picking it up a little at a time, and you'll have it to make your goodies at Christmas time. Now, I'm fixing to have me some of this cake. Then I'm going to edit this video, and I'm going to run to town and do some shopping, and I'm going to upload the video while I'm in town, because if I go up there and park where there's good internet, it'll upload in like 10 minutes, but it'll take it 10 hours here. Our internet is so slow at the house on uploading. So y'all will get this after a while. What time is it? It's 11:45, almost noon, and it should be up and running by 2 or 2:30 time I go to town and do my running. So anyway, I'll see y'all again in a day or two with something else good. The good Lord bless and keep you.